Hey everybody, this is Melody Fletcher with Deliberate Receiving, and this is another Law of Attraction video. This is a continuation in the series on negative emotion, and today I'd like to talk to you about shame. Shame is one of the worst emotions there is, and that's because when you feel ashamed, you feel at a very fundamental level that you're not okay, that you're broken somehow, that you're not appropriate, and who you really are, your higher self, your soul, if you will, knows unequivocally that you are not broken, that you're absolutely okay, and that you're 100% right exactly where you are and being who you are. And so when you feel ashamed, you are really denying who you really are, and nothing really feels worse than that. So where does shame come from? Well, shame is a learned response. We are not born being ashamed of ourselves. It's something that we pick up. And if you look at the animal kingdom, animals that have not been domesticated, animals in the wild, they are not ashamed of themselves. Now, domesticated animals like dogs, they have picked that up a little bit, and it can be argued, and it's kind of hotly debated. It can be argued that they do display shame. Whether or not they actually feel shame, who knows? But animals in the wild do not show shame. It is something that we pick up, something that we are taught to feel. So we don't fundamentally feel badly about ourselves. We are taught to feel that way. So where does shame actually come from? How did it come about? Well, I believe that shame is a product of a fundamental societal problem with self-esteem. Let me explain. Because shame comes up in the most primitive of tribes to the most sophisticated of societies and in all kinds of subgroups of society. So how is shame built? Well, if I feel really badly about myself and I fundamentally think that I'm not okay, I'm going to look for other people that are the same as me. So let's say I like pink. You like pink. Oh my God, we're the same. Let's band together. And because this is the unifying factor, we're going to say that if you like pink, you're okay. Now we can feel better about ourselves. But by that definition, anybody who doesn't like pink is not okay. And we are going to let them know that. So we are going to shame them, hopefully into compliance, because if we can get more and more people to like pink, to wear pink, we can feel better and better and better about ourselves. So we shame people into compliance. It's a tool that we use in society to get people to comply with our rules. Well, what rules? These are arbitrary rules, and they differ from, society to society, to subgroup to subgroup. They are completely arbitrary and chosen, and this is how you come up with things like don't wear white after Labor Day and all that crap. This goes far beyond survival. This has nothing to do with, don't eat all the food so the tribe doesn't starve. This has nothing to do with survival. These are absolutely arbitrary rules. And we often don't even remember where these rules came from, how they were formed, and they make absolutely no sense, and yet we still often live by them, meaning that when we break one of these rules, we feel ashamed because we've been taught to feel ashamed. Now, in society right now, we're seeing a lot of shamelessness. And shamelessness seems like it's a really bad thing. But shamelessness is really just a person who's shameless is really just a person who is refusing to follow these arbitrary rules of society. And there's two reasons that that may happen. There's kind of a positive one and a slightly less positive one. The positive one is when somebody feels so secure, so worthy, they know their own power so well, that they feel absolutely no need to govern themselves by these arbitrary rules. That means if they want to go do something, they do it, even if it's against these society's rules. Now, when somebody feels that secure in themselves, even if they're completely shameless, we don't tend to be offended by them. In fact, we tend to find that really attractive. That's an attractive quality. These are people who can, we say, well, that's a really low-cut dress, but she pulls it off. You have that confidence shining out from inside you, and people tend to appreciate that, and they tend to revere it even. The second reason that somebody might act shameless, and this is the prevalent reason that we see in society today, is because they're rebelling against the idea of shame. They are sick and tired of feeling ashamed of themselves. They're feeling sick and tired of feeling like they're not okay on a fundamental level, and they are rebelling. And this is where you see, this is where you get that Jerry Springer crowd coming in. These are people, who are, engaging in behaviors that most of us kind of go, wow, are you kidding? And they're doing it proudly, or at least they're proclaiming that they're doing it proudly. So I feel absolutely great about myself. Nobody can tell me what to do. What's actually happening is that most of these people do not feel great about themselves, and you can hear that. You can hear that discord. If you listen to their words and you listen closely, you can hear that most of them are lying to themselves and lying to everybody else. But what they're doing is they don't actually feel secure in themselves, but what they're doing is they're rebelling against the idea that they're not okay. They're really, really tired of it, and they're angry, and they're rebelling against it, and they're doing it for the shock value. They want to shock society. They want to rub society's face in it, saying, stop making me feel this way. And that's where you get the shamelessness that's sort of sweeping society right now, because people are more and more and more sick and tired of feeling like they're not okay. So am I saying that it's okay to be shameless? Well, yeah, actually I am. I think everything is okay. But if you're going to try to overcome shame, I wouldn't necessarily recommend, running through the street naked in order to shock people. What I would recommend is working on your sense of self-worth, working on your confidence, working on not feeling like other people's opinions, society's opinions, have any power over how you feel about yourself. The only one that can control ultimately how you feel about yourself is you. And if you take back your power from all these arbitrary rules, and you understand that you are fundamentally, absolutely perfect, then you can begin to live your life the way that you want, regardless of what society's arbitrary rules say. And when you live that way, even if you do something that somebody might consider shameless, they generally won't be offended. In fact, when we see somebody with that kind of confidence shining through them, we find it very, very attractive. And that's because down deep, we all really want to feel that way, don't we? We all want to feel like we are fundamentally perfect, like we are okay. And when we see somebody who feels that way, we want to feel that way as well. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If you'd like more Law of Attraction videos, audios, articles, all kinds of wonderful free stuff, then stop by deliberatereceiving.com. And do let me know what you think in the comments. Please share this video if you found it helpful. I would really, really appreciate that. Either way, huge happy shiny puppy hugs to all of you, and thank you for watching.